Hi everyone, welcome back to our vocabulary class. It's already meeting 9. How time flies, right? It's already like halfway through our 16 meetings. And today we are going to learn about verb and adverb. Now I'm going to share my screen because I am really trying to not have that long lengthy video because I realized that most of my videos are like more than 2 hours, even 2 hours and a half. So I'd like to introduce you to that's why I try to choose videos that are very short. And as you can see, it's only 1 minute long, 1.5 minutes long, and I hope that even after I try to explain it, it wouldn't be that much long. It wouldn't take at least more than our class because our class should actually finish in 100 minutes. Yeah, so 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I will try to keep my videos also within that length. Hopefully I will be able to do that. Okay, let's get started with the verb. So verb is part of speech. It's very important. It signify, trying to explain actions that is made by the subject. Jadi kalau verb itu adalah kata kerja ya, jadinya dia itu kan menerangkan suatu hal yang dilakukan oleh subjek dari suatu kalimat in a sentence. Yeah, let's see what the video is talking about.
Another part of speech. But I suppose the most fruitful place for us to begin is by asking, what is a verb? A verb is a part of speech that has a bunch of different functions, but one of its most important functions is that it can express or show action. Verbs show action.
Yeah, just like what we're talking about. Seperti yang sudah saya katakan, itu kan untuk menunjukkan action.
Because all sentences contain verbs. So I'm going to write a couple of sentences about the bear, and every time I use a verb, I'm going to write it in yellow like that.
Yeah, so he says that all sentence contains verb, that's why it's important. Kayak semua kalimat itu kan menggunakan verb pasti. Pasti ada, kalau kita tuh berbicara, if we are talking, we are talking. Talking is a verb. Like are is like to be, and it's another type of verb. It's auxiliary verb that we are going to learn after this. There's another video for that. Jadi tuh kayak walaupun kita berbicara gitu kan, it's also verb. Jadinya tuh kita kalau misalnya kita sedang when we are talking, when we are sleeping, when we are walking, when we are thinking, we are doing something, and it could be expressed by verb. That's why verb is something that cannot be omitted. Jadinya gitu, verb itu adalah sesuatu hal yang tidak bisa dihilangkan gitu. Or if it doesn't have any verb, then yeah, it's just noun. It's not a sentence. Jadi kalau misalnya dia itu tidak punya verb, berarti itu kalimatnya itu kan entah dia itu incomplete, have a weird meaning sounding when you translate it into Indonesian, memiliki arti yang aneh kalau misalnya ditranslate ke bahasa kita Indonesia, or it's just a noun, atau itu cuma kata benda aja gitu, kira-kira. Oke, dan dia bilang kalau misalnya ini he is going to write down sentences, and the verb is going to be in yellow. Jadinya itu verbnya itu ada yang warnanya kuning.
Here we go. The bear roars. The bear runs. The bear sleeps. Now, each one of these words in yellow is a verb. Each one of them is action. This is the first thing that verbs can do. Verbs show action in sentences. And in fact, all sentences must contain verbs.
Okay, so that's it. See? And all of them are present tense in case of you, don't remember, because I know that you must have learned it before. Jadinya itu semuanya ini adalah present tense because of the S here. It's verb 1. Dan juga it has an S because it's only there's only one subject. If the bears apabila bear-nya yang banyak ya, ada S-nya di sini. Example, let me give you example. The bears roar. Kalau bear-nya banyak, if there are so many bears, more than one, the roar cannot use S or it's grammatically incorrect. But well, you will learn grammar too, right? I'm not going to talk much about it here. Clear, okay. Then we're going to our next one. So this is like all of these are verb 1 ya. Because there are verb 2 and verb 3. Ada verb 2 dan verb 3 juga. Verb 2 and 3 is usually for verb 2 mostly for past tense, kata kerja masa lampau ya. And in the verb 3 is for present perfect tenses. Jadinya itu yang untuk menunjukkan, how do you say it? Let me search. Present perfect tenses. It usually use have and then verb 3. Jadi ya pakai have dan verb 3. Kalau misalnya present perfect. Terus tadi mulai ada masalah dan masih berlangsung. Okay, so it's trying to explain a word like verb that or an action that has been used or a situation that has begun in the past, but it's still ongoing until right now. And you're going to learn about it more later when you learn about grammar. Yeah, okay. Then this, where should I begin? Helping verb? Oh, yeah, because this helping verb is the auxiliary verb, right?
Hello, grammarians. Now we've already talked about how verbs can show actions, link concepts. Today I'd like to talk about the third.
Okay, let's watch linking verb first.
Hello, grammarians. Today we're talking about verbs and bears. So we had previously established at least one thing about the verb. That was that it can show actions. But today I'd like to introduce the idea that the verb can link ideas to one another. In fact, we have this whole class of verbs that we call linking verbs. Or if you want to call it something fancier, we call that state of being verbs. These linking verbs all forms of the verb to be, which I've handily written out for you. So I am, he is, we are, nice,
Sorry. So, besides the previous video about introduction to verbs, it's only talking about how verb is showing action to a sentence. Besides showing action, it can also link ideas. Jadi bisa untuk menggabungkan kata ya. It's similar to connecting words, but not really. You will see on the example. Jadi it mirip kayak connecting words, but it's really not. And do you still remember the connecting words? I think I'm going to ask you in class later, if you still remember. I don't want to talk it here. It will take so much time. And then for the linking verbs, there are, like I said before, it's not auxiliary, it's to be. And it's am, is, are, be, being, been, was, were. Okay. Being is, it could be gerund, but we are going to talk about it in adjective when we learn about adjective next week. So it's about state of being. Jadinya itu adalah action is doing something, right? Kita melakukan sesuatu. State of being is just what they currently are. Jadinya it's hard to translate in Indonesian. Sesuatu hal yang sedang kita rasakan, begitu. State of being. Not doing something like, for doing something, for example, we are currently, like, I am doing my homework. Jadinya saya sedang mengerjakan PR saya ya. And then my state of being is I am dizzy, or I'm frustrated, or I'm sleepy because of this homework. Jadinya tuh kayak perasaan saya adalah saya itu pusing, dizzy, and then frustrated, jadinya frustasi ya, and then sleepy, ngantuk karena ngerjain homeworknya. Begitu kira-kira. Then let's see the example sentence.
One idea to another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the screen in half between the action side and the state of being side, just to show you. So we use action verbs to show what something does, whereas we use state of being verbs to show what something is. So let's bring it back to this bear. Let's think of an action for this bear to do. What does a bear like to do? The bear eats a fish. That's action. That's something the bear is doing. The bear is hungry, however. It's not something that the bear is doing, it's something that the bear is. So what is doing here is connecting the word hungry to the word bear. It's linking. Some verbs can be used both ways. They can be used both as actions and as linking verbs. I'll show you an example of that. You could say, the bear looked at me, which is to say the bear is doing a thing, looking at something like me. But we could also say, using the same verb, the bear looked lonely. Now, in this case, this is describing how the bear looks.
So besides what we've talking about, like the first example is similar to my example, right? Example pertamanya ini kan like the bear eats fish, like I am doing homework. It's similar. We are doing something, right? Action. And then my state of being is I'm sleepy because of doing homework. It's like the sleepy is actually referring to my state of being, right? Not just about doing something. Not about doing something. It's my state of being. Jadinya itu kan perasaannya saya gitu kan, keadaannya saya pada saat itu kan, kayak the bear is hungry. And the other thing that we that the linking verb can do is describing something. Like the bear looked at me. Jadi kan beruangnya melihat saya gitu ya. And then I said the bear looked lonely. You know, when we encounter a bear, we shouldn't run, but we should quietly trying to not like don't look threatening, and we should just stay still until the bear is gone. Jangan lari ya, diterkam kamu malah nanti. So, like, it's just describing how the bear looks, right? It's describing the bear.
What the bear looks like. Because looking is not something the bear is doing, it's how the bear appears to a viewer. So, looked, only to bear. It is linking, not only to bear, it's linking. But
yeah, it's similar. It's just have different meaning. Like the first one is the hungry is also linked to the bear because that's what the bear is feeling, and the lonely also linking to the bear because the bear is the one that's lonely, not us, right? Even though it's because we are saying it. We're the one who says it, right?
by the same token, we could say for an action, the bear smells a person, smelling a person. But we could also say the bear smells like cinnamon, which I grant you is pretty unlikely. But what smells is doing here is connecting the idea of cinnamon to the bear. The bear isn't smelling cinnamon. The bear smells like cinnamon. And that's the difference between a linking verb and an action. So linking verb shows what something is. An action verb shows what something does.
Okay. So the other one is the bear smells a person. So it's just like when we eat, we are doing something. When we looked, we are also doing something. When we smell, we also looked at some, like smell something, right? Smell, it's mencium gitu kan, mencium sesuatu. Indera penciuman gitu. And then if is, it's not we are doing something, we're just feeling it, right? And then when we, and about looked lonely, the bear is not looking at something. Jadi kan beruang itu tidak melihat ke suatu tempat kan. Kita yang melihat beruangnya dan kita merasa, we think that the bear looked lonely. It's just describing how the bear appeared to us. Jadinya kan hanya mendeskripsikan seperti apa kelihatannya si beruang itu. And then the bear smells like cinnamon. Jadi maybe the bear is not a real bear, but a plush toy, right? Like squishy. That's why it smells like cinnamon. Jadi itu bearnya itu begitu kita cium itu baunya kayak cinnamon. Cinnamon itu what? It's type of spice obtained from inner bark of 3 species. How does it look like? Yeah, there you go. Cinnamon, kayu manis ya. Okay. Oh, is there a squishy that smells like cinnamon? Okay, and again, it's just not, the bear is not doing something, right? Bear-nya itu kan tetap aja tidak melakukan sesuatu kan? Karena kan dia yang, we're just again describing the bear. Kan kita cuma mendeskripsikan bear-nya itu kan. The bear looked lonely. Dia itu terlihat kayak kesepian dan juga dia itu berbau seperti cinnamon, seperti kayu manis begitu. It's not doing something. It's just how the bear is, the state of being. Seperti apa keadaan bear-nya itu. Okay. And then is the next one is the helping verb.
Hello, now we've already talked about how verbs can show actions and link concepts. Today I'd like to talk about the third function of the verb, which is helping other verbs. Now we call this the helping verb. You may have heard it called that, or the auxiliary verb.
Okay, this one is the auxiliary
These are
verb.
just two words for the same. Auxiliary is just a more Latin way to say helping. That's all it means. Now I've brought along an image of my friend Brian to help explain this principle. And what helping verbs are is really just inflected forms of the verbs to have and to be. And as we get deeper into the verb, I'll explain what each one means in each one of its different versions. But for now, suffice it to say that I'm just going to throw out some examples just so you can see what it means for a helping verb to be a helping verb. So the specific way in which helping verbs help is that they establish certain facts about a sentence, usually when they're happening in time. And we'll get more into that as we get more into tenses and aspects. But I just want to give you some examples. So here we have Brian is eating pizza. Brian and finally, Brian pizza. So the presence of all these helping verbs has different effects depending on which ones you use. And as I said, we'll get into those later. But just for a brief, for example, let's see, Brian is eating a pizza. That suggests that it's going on now. Brian has eaten a pizza.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's why what I thought about to be is actually correct. So this helping verb is actually like when you use to be, right? Is are, and then was, were, etc. You actually will use another verb, like where is it? We're going to use this verb too, right? It's to make your sentence, it depends whether what you want to make the sentence is. Like this one is Brian eating a pizza. It means that it's still ongoing. Going. So this is actually present continuous tense. Why is it present continuous tense? Because if it's like past continuous tense, it's going to be was. Okay, it's also still ongoing, but it's happening in the past. Was eating pizza, like this morning. It just didn't have the like adverb of time we're going to learn about adverb too later after this. And then about has eaten a pizza, present perfect. Had been eating a pizza, it's present perfect continuous. Again, it's all grammatical, about grammar tenses, because there are 16 grammar tenses that you need to learn. Yeah, I know it's a lot. Jadinya, jadi helping verb itu cuma kalau misalnya kalian itu memakai to be or to have, kalian itu tidak bisa cuma memakai to be-nya aja, pasti kebanyakan akan diikuti dengan verb. Okay, and how do I say it? The shape, the arrangement of the sentence. Jadinya itu kayak bentuk dari sentence-nya dan juga bentuk dari verb-nya. It really depends on your intent. Jadinya itu berdasarkan dengan kalian ingin mengatakan apa. Like, if you are trying to talk about something that happened right now, you use is eating, ongoing, right? Jadinya itu present continuous. If you want to say something yang sudah berlangsung di masa lalu, is was eating. And then if you want to say about something that has been going on, something in the past, but it has been going on until now, so you use the present perfect continuous. Yeah, it depends. It just depends on the grammar, and you're going to learn more about it later. And then, oh, I forgot to clear all my drawing. Okay. Then modal verb.
Hello. Today we're going to talk about a class of auxiliary or helper verbs called the modal verbs. These are verbs that have special properties and help other verbs. But what is modality? My fellow grammarian, I am so glad you asked. Modality is when we use these verbs to express conditions on stuff. So we can use these verbs to determine if something is likely to happen or certain to happen, whether or not something is possible or whether or not we have the ability to do something, whether or not we have the permission to do something, and whether or not we have the obligation or requirement or need to do something. You already know all of these verbs, I promise you. You just didn't know this name for them. Let's meet the modals. Roll call, here we go. May, might, must, can, could, shall, should, will, would.
Yep. I bet you already have learned about this in the past. We're just going to refresh your mind again. Jadinya itu like may, might, must, can, could, shall, should, will, would. And some of them like could, should, and would is it's already a verb 2. Jadinya udah verb 2 yang usually about we're going to use those when you're trying to be more polite. Kalau misalnya kalian mau bahasanya lebih halus ya. Or when it's already happening in the past. Jadi itu atau dia itu sudah terjadi di masa lampau. And we're going to backward a little bit. Okay. Jadi modal verb is again expressing condition. Jadinya itu untuk menerangkan tentang kondisi. Like likelihood or certainty, possibility ya. Jadinya itu kayak apakah sesuatu itu bisa terjadi. And then ability itu kemampuan. And then permission, izin, and obligation. Obligation itu harus, keharusan. Dan
so you can take any one of these modals and you can use any subject in the world, and it's not going to change. Right? You take a word like talk, for instance. You say, I talk Diane. Talk. Yes. And any subject in any sentence is going to take the modal verb the same way. So I'm doing it, you can do it, she can do it, they can do it, we can do it. It's all the same. They agree with everything.
okay, so the modal verb is a little bit easier because you don't have to think about whether the subject and the verb agree with each other. Jadinya itu kalian tidak perlu memikirkan apakah subjek dan verbnya itu berpasangan atau enggak. Like, as you can see, it needs to be talk. Like, it has like a different pair. Let me show you. Like, I have to be am, right? He can be is. She also is. And then what else? You are. See, it's different, right? They are. We are. It's different. And then it can, like, I. If he is also talks, because it's only one person. Single. She is also talks. Again, because they're single. But you talk. You get what I mean? And I talk, it's just because that's the rules of the grammar. Itu adalah rules dari grammarnya, okay? But if you change everything to modal, yeah, you can say I can, he can, they can, we can. There's no difference. You don't have to think about whether it needs to use as or not at the end. Okay. Okay, Claire, trying.
Something else that modals do is actually something that they don't do. They don't have a to form. This is what we call the infinitive. So there's no such thing as to may or to could. That just doesn't exist. So modals don't have infinitives. You can't say, I want to share. That is an illegal operation in English. Ungrammatical. Doesn't matter what version of English you speak. Across all varieties of English, you cannot to should. And finally, a thing that modal verbs can.
Okay, so the teacher here talks about to infinitive. Jadi ada to infinitive, like, let me show you. Oh, is it this one? Share. Show. Oh, this is the degree one. Okay. No. Let me. Is it this one? Sure. Okay, it's this one. As you can see, verb ing form and infinitive. Some verbs are followed by ing form if the next word is a verb. But usually if it's continuous, okay? Like if jadi beberapa kata kerja itu ditambahin dengan ing. Kalau dia itu sesuatu yang sedang terjadi, but there, if it's something that's currently happening or just something that it's something that's always happening. Kalau misalnya itu adalah sesuatu yang bisa menggambarkan sesuatu yang sedang terjadi, like going out. I feel like going out, like this one. I feel like going out this evening. Like he admitted stealing. Itu kan melakukan sesuatu ya. Give up smoking. Smoking itu kan merokok. Stealing itu kan mencuri. Mitch living. Living itu kan hidup. Working, bekerja. Driving, mengemudi ya. Yeah, it's because it's something that's currently happening, like currently ongoing. Jadi itu kata kerja yang menunjukkan sesuatu yang like stop doing something for the last time, giving up, avoid something, admitting, denying. Okay, wait, let me verb ing form. Yeah, it's just because of this. It depends on the sentence. Adding ing is just trying to add or to make something. Let me just type it. Adding into a verb is just to show that something is ongoing. Like example, I stand. I am standing. I stand is just trying to say that our state, kayak cuma memberitahukan kalau saya tuh berdiri gitu. If it's standing, it means that I am standing. Jadi kayak saya itu sedang berdiri. What else? I Jadi I eat noodles. Itu kan saya makan noodle ya. Kalau misalnya I am eating noodles itu saya sedang makan noodles. Like it's, I guess it's more specific when you're saying I am eating noodles. Jadi kan itu lebih spesifik gitu ya. Kan saya sedang melakukan sesuatu gitu. Lebih pastinya lagi. Kalau misalnya I eat noodles, it could just say if someone asking you, what do you eat? I eat noodles. Just that. Kayak cuma menanyakan sesuatu hal yang bisa apa aja, bisa can you eat noodles? I eat noodles. Jadi kamu bisa makan apa? Apakah kamu makan itu mie or it's not that specific. Okay. And then the two infinitive is actually this one. Jadi some verbs are followed by an infinitive if the next word is verb. Jadi infinitive itu adalah like verb that always followed by to. Offer to, want to, seems to, as you can see, manage to, see, offer to, mean to, refuse to, expect to, promise to. They even have an extra, like, there's even another verb here, like take, go, help, see, phone. Phone is like menelpon, okay? Finish, menyelesaikan. Mean to. Do is a verb too, right? You kan melakukan. Mean to. Jadi ada beberapa kata, ya, like the ones here in the bold that needs to be paired with to. Jadi itu needs infinitive to. Jadi itu ada, begitu. Kalau misalnya dia tidak dipasangkan dengan to, let me try make sentence. Hope. Okay, I hope to work with you again on the next project. Okay, it's immediately used to. I mean, I hope work with you again on the next project. Okay, it didn't sound right grammatically, and also like if you omit the two in Indonesians, it becomes like this. It becomes like this. Saya berharap, if with to, I hope to work with you again on the next project. Jadinya itu, saya berharap untuk bekerja sama denganmu lagi di project berikutnya. If you omit the two, saya berharap kerja dengan kamu lagi di project berikutnya. It's not that it's not right. It's just kind of weird for me because it's not complete grammatically. Okay, you will totally understand later after you learn, and also you listen, you read, and then you learn so much grammar. later you will understand what I mean. Jadi kalau setelah kalian itu sudah lebih banyak baca lagi, terus lebih banyak mendengar bahasa Inggris, dan juga kalian lebih belajar lebih dalam lagi, you will be able to pinpoint. Jadinya kalian akan bisa sadar sendiri gitu. If you find something odd in a sentence, or hear something odd when you're talking, when you're speaking. Jadi begitu, kalian akan bisa discern by yourself. Okay. And then verb infinitive without to. Oh. So it's like this. So in the to infinitive, they're going to use the force me to. See, force to. It's still to infinitive. Allow me to go out. The way you try to, if you don't want to use to, kalian nggak mau pakai to-nya, you need to try to think of a sentence or like a word that can replace this force me to. Like in here it's make, and then allow to, it's replaced by left. And then this verb in form or infinitive. Some verb can be followed by an ing form or infinitive, but the meaning is very similar. Okay, jadinya itu kalau misalnya ada beberapa verb yang diikuti dengan ing atau to infinitive ya. And the meaning, jadi artinya itu mirip. Love, hate, prefer. These are the examples. I remember to buy a present for my brother. I didn't forget to buy a present. I remember buying her a present. Memory, it happened, and I remember. Oh, I remember to. This is with infinitive, yeah, verb infinitive. Verb plus to. And then this is verb plus ing. Verb plus ing. I remember to buy a present for my brother. I remember buying her a present. Why is it her if it's like this? This is nonsense. It should be. I remember buying my brother a present, so it's not going to be confusing everyone. Or you can also use him, my brother, or him. Because it's trying to give us the gist, right? On, even though it has a different sentence structure, it still has the same meaning. Jadinya kan walaupun sentence structure-nya beda ya, tapi kan meaning-nya tetap sama gitu kan. I remembered to buy present for my brother. Jika saya ingat untuk membeli hadiah untuk saudara laki-laki saya. Jadinya itu bisa juga I remember buying my brother a present. Jadi saya ingat kalau misalnya saya itu membeli hadiah kakak saya or saudara laki-laki saya gitu kan. That's why I use him. Okay. Then stop share. So that's just the preview, right? It differs from the modal and also the to be that we already learned previously, and also about the verb. There is also like the infinitive form in verb.
Do is indicate modality, which, like we said, establishes conditions. So let's take a look at some examples. So the word must, right? We can use the word must in a couple of different ways. So if you imagine a detective looking up from some tracks, some muddy footprints on the floor with her magnifying glass, she looks up and she says, "He must have gone that way." That detective is saying he's using must to express like a likelihood, a high likelihood. This must have happened. But if you're at an amusement park and the roller coaster you want to ride has a height requirement, the sign probably says you must be this tall to ride the Doom coaster. This is like a necessary condition. By a similar token, if you enter someone's house and they demand that you take off your shoes, they would say you must remove your shoes. Similar.
Okay. So, like, I think it's just what have been discussed here, right? It could express likelihood, ability, permission, and obligation. Jadinya itu possibility, ya jadinya itu kayak sesuatu yang mungkin terjadi, ability, kemampuan, keadaan. And then permission itu kan izin, and obligation, keharusan, right? That's why the examples are like in the must, it's a likelihood. Jadi kan he must have gone that way. Itu maksudnya kan dia pasti pergi ke sana loh. Jadinya itu kan sesuatu yang likelihood, like possible. Jadinya itu sangat mungkin gitu. Dia itu pergi ke sana. Maybe because we know him or her. Biasanya itu if example, they after class, they usually go to cafe, and then they only go to certain cafe. That's why you can say he must have gone that way. Karena kan kalian tahu kafenya itu sebelah mana, right? Jadi kan kemungkinan besar, like the most possible move that your friend can do is going that way. Jadinya pasti ke sebelah sana kan, ke arah cafe itu. Begitu. And then the next one is you must be tall to ride the Doom coaster. Jadinya kamu harus tinggi itu apabila kamu ingin menaiki Doom coaster. Itu kan coaster is, how do I say it? When you go to amusement park, usually you will find a roller coaster, right? That's what it is. Doom coaster is just maybe a very, very tall and also thrilling roller coaster. Let me give you roller coaster. Ta-da! I don't know the Indonesian word, sorry. Okay. So you must be this tall. Jadi kan itu adalah keharusan. Kalau kalian mau naik roller coaster itu, kalian harus setinggi ini. Usually it's like 120 cm, if I'm not mistaken. Jadinya biasanya sih 120 cm sih. Harus lebih tinggi dari 120 cm, I mean. Okay. And then
similarly, with may, we can use may to express a possibility, like saying it may rain. That's something that expressing your ability to do a thing. We also use modal verbs like this to talk about conditions or stuff that isn't going to happen or maybe could happen. So, for example, in this sentence, you would say, I would make bed, but I'm tired. Because the possibility exists, however remote, that the bed would be made by me, but I don't feel like it. So I'm using would to offer examples. I'm saying this could possibly happen, this would happen, except for this one other problem, which is that I'm sleeping. You can also use modal verbs to give advice to someone, as in, you shouldn't do that. And something that is special to will, and to a lesser extent shall, is that they can form the future. Shall used to be a lot more popular, and it still is in British English, but less so in standard American. So you would say,
okay. And then another examples of how the models are going to, like, the meaning of the sentence when you use certain modal. Jadinya itu arti dari suatu kalimat apabila kalian menggunakan modal tertentu. Okay. It may rain, like another possibility, because you look at your weather prediction on the internet or your mobile phone and you see, oh, it's like 30% rain probability, right? Jadinya kayak kalau misalnya kalian itu melihat di weather channel, jadinya perkiraan cuaca kalian ada di internet ataupun dari HP kalian melihat ada kemungkinan untuk hujan 30%, ya you can say to other people that it may rain, gitu kan, mungkin. And then if you say you may enter, it's like permission, like you're in an interview, possibly you're waiting on the outside of the interview room, and then someone can come out from the interview room and say to you, you may enter. It's like giving you permission to enter the room right now because the interviewee before you has finished. Jadinya kalau misalnya untuk and then another example is, oh, you may start now. Jadi like when you are on an exam, the teacher or your class may have already given you the paper, the exam paper, but you still cannot open it yet. And then after everyone has gotten their exam paper, the teacher then announced that you may start. Jadinya kalau misalnya kalian tuh dapat exam paper, and then kalian gak boleh buka dulu, kan biasanya kan sampai semuanya dapat kan. Udah gitu nanti teachernya bilang kamu boleh mulai sekarang, kan permission. It's a permission, right? And then I can eat 10 pounds of broccoli. It's like an ability. Jadi kan hebat ya, 10 pounds broccoli itu berapa ya? 10 pounds. 10 pounds in kilogram. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this person says that he or she can eat like 4.5 kilogram broccoli. Like, I can't. I mean, I eat vegetable, but I don't love it that much that I will eat 4 kilograms of broccoli, okay? No way. They really have ability. What I can is, I can eat 3 packs of noodles. Jadinya saya bisa makan 3 bungkus on one sitting. I ever did that before. when I was in high school or in junior high. Yeah, but I don't have the ability anymore, so. And it's not really healthy to eat so many instant noodles, especially because of the seasoning package, right? It's so salty. I will make the bed, but I'm tired. Okay, it's another possibility because saya akan membereskan tempat tidur, tapi saya capek loh. Jadi, but it's still a possibility. I mean, dia masih mungkin untuk membereskan tempat tidurnya, tapi we don't know when because they are tired. Probably they're going to rest first before they're going to make the bed. And then you shouldn't do that, like advice. Jadi kan memberi suatu saran ya, like kamu seharusnya tidak melakukan itu. Oh, for example, you are using your bike, but not just trying to bike on your neighborhood, but trying to bike on the highway or the crowded street without your helmet. And so I would say you shouldn't do that. Jadinya kalau misalnya kalian itu mengendarai sepeda gitu ya, tapi bukannya di sekeliling kompleksnya kalian ke jalan besar gitu, nggak pakai helm pula. Makanya saya bisa bilang kamu tidak boleh melakukan hal seperti itu. Nanti kan it's a dangerous thing, okay? Then he will win the competition. It's a future. Yeah, of course it's a future. If you find any sentences that contains will, you bet it's going to be a future tense. Okay, and then the next one is irregular verb.
Hello, grammarians. Today I want to start talking about irregular verbs. That is to say, verbs that appear a regular verb that we can conjugate in all tenses, and it's just going to be like, for example, the verb talk. Right. So if we take a regular verb and we put it in the present, future, this is what's present tense, talk. Future tense, will talk. But there.
Verb 1, it is future tense, and then past, okay? Verb 2 and verb 3. So mostly if it's like a regular verb, you will be able to change into verb 2 and verb 3 just using ed, just add ed in it. But irregular verb will have, it did not have a certain formula that you can actually count on. Jadi kalau misalnya verb yang biasa, like in this example talk, kalau misalnya mau dibikin menjadi past tense, tinggal tambahin ed aja. Now you can just add ed and then that's it. You're done. And what else? Help. Help. While if it's irregular verb, you're going to have so much work to just trying to memorize it. Because it's going to be like this. Speak. spoke, spoken. Yeah, you're going to have a headache. You know, when I was in junior high school, one of my teacher asked us to change. This is verb 1, this is verb 2, and this is verb 3. So my teacher gave me like 100 of verb 1, the irregular verb, and then asked us to write down the verb 2 and verb 3. It's our like midterm test, I guess. And there's 100 of them. I don't know how it is like during your time, but during my time, it's kind of intense. Okay, so let's see.
There are plenty of verbs in English, as you've no doubt discovered, that don't follow that basic rule. Present tense is one form of verb. Past tense is the present with ed tacked up with will tacked up in front. And there are plenty of words in English, as you've no doubt discovered, that don't behave that way at all. So let's take another. Present tense, future tense, past tense. Man, oh, weird. Super duper weird. Now, there are a lot of irregular verbs in English. But you're listening to something the grammar book decided to cover. So I think between the two of us, we can figure this out. But for now, let's just focus on 4 verbs. First person, when we're talking about ourselves, when I'm talking about myself, in the present, I would say, I. If we're talking about someone else in the present, singular, we would say,
Okay, the teacher just give like a table. Jadinya itu ada tabelnya ya. It's like this is the verb ya. And be, it means like to be, right? Is MR. And then have, do, and say. That's their example of verb. And the first person is I, obviously. And the third person is going to be she, he, they, we. You is second person, okay? Not the third person, it's different. And then this is plural present, first past, plural past. Okay. Jadinya itu, let's just see.
she has, she does, she says. So the third person singular is different in the way that these words are pronounced. So am becomes this entirely different word. Is, have doesn't become haves. It's has. And do doesn't become does, it becomes does. We actually change the vowel sound here. Just like say doesn't become say, it becomes a she says in standard American English.
Yeah, if you still remember what we were talking about previously, jadi kalau kalian itu masih ingat tentang apa yang kita omongin sebelumnya, like the he itu pasangannya itu is, she itu pasangannya juga is, I pasangannya itu am, and then why the hell, sorry, cursing, why the I have but she has. It's because if it's she and he, it's going to be has. Okay. If it's I, you, they, we, it's going to be have. Simple. It's just about the grammar thing that you're going to learn later. or probably currently learning, I don't know. And then do and does. Again, if it's like only one person, but it's not I, okay? I is always an exception of things. He or she is going to be does. But if you, they, we, it's going to be do. That's why she also says, he also says, and then let me write it down for you. Okay, she or he is always with this, okay, and she or he is always with has, and then I, you, they, we, oh, she, it. Okay, I, you, they, we is always going to be are or have with verb or verb with no s or es at the back. This one is always with s or es at the back. That's the difference. Like it's going to be always talks, speaks, and then what else? What do you see as? I cannot think about it on top of my mind, but it's going to always be have or verb with non. It's always going to be talk or speak or run. I hope it's going to be clearer now.
Say she says. In the present tense, we are, we have, we do, we say. And in the past tense, in the first person, it's four verbs form found.
Yeah, it's just the plural present, right? Plural is more than one person. We, that's why they use we. Like they are, they have, they do, they say. Okay, for the past tense, it's actually going to be like all the same. And again, it depends on the what sentence it is, okay? Whether it's like past tense or past future or past perfect, past continuous, it depends on that. Okay, it's another grammatical thing.
Plural past was we were. So, these four verbs are some of the slightest one quickly, but they're the most.
Yep. And then I'm going to show you a list of irregular verbs. There's so many. Blue, blow, blue, blown. Break, broke, broken. Bring, brought, brought. Build, built, built. And whatever else is there. There's so many. And unfortunately, I cannot help you with it because it's irregular. There's nothing you can do except for trying to memorize it. Jadinya itu tidak ada lagi yang bisa kalian lakukan kecuali untuk memorize them. Because it's also something that I did in the past. Jadinya itu waktu dulu itu juga saya memorize irregular verb karena itu adalah sesuatu yang memang harus dihafal, bukannya sesuatu yang bisa kalian tambahin ed and then you're done. No, unfortunately not. So you can look it up. There's so many on Google about irregular verb. Okay. Now we move on to the next one. It's about adverb.
Hello, Verbians. Today we are going to talk skillfully and patiently about adverbs and what it is that adverbs do. And in order to do that, I think it might be useful to talk about adjectives do first. So adjectives can modify stuff, and I should have been clearer in the last video. And said that the stuff they modify is nouns. I didn't want to introduce too many rules and strictures. What adjectives modify is nouns.
Yeah, we're going to learn adjective next week, so it's just like a little bit of overview that adjective modifies noun is something that we have been talking about. Itu kan adjective itu memodifikasi kata kerja, right? While adverb apparently modifies everything else.
Adverbs modify everything else. So adverbs everything else. And the way we usually see this applied is with verbs, and it's right there in the name too. Adverbs, and this comes from Latin, meaning verbs. Actually, adverbs are words that you slap onto verbs. Basically, what I imagine when I think of adverbs is I kind of see like a sticker. Here's this sticker we have. Slowly. So we can take this thing and turn it into a sticker. Boop. Do we like like erase it. Boop. Slowly. You know, slowly here refers back to ran. It's how he ran. Not really describing racing. It's modifying or describing the action of running. Arranged furniture slowly. Mostly put on there. But a word is also considered an adverb if it modifies an adjective. So let's say adverbs modify verbs. So we could say something like Vanessa right? Because hungry is an adjective. And very is doing this thing where it's modifying hungry. It's not Vanessa wasn't very. You can't be very. Very is not an adjective. But it is a modifier. And the word that it's modifying is hungry. How hungry was Vanessa? Vanessa was very hungry. Vanessa could also be slightly. And this leads me to one of the most important things about adverbs, which is that generally they tend to have ly.
Okay, so adverb modifies everything that isn't a noun. Jadi itu dia tuh memodifikasi atau menerangkan segala hal yang bukan kata benda. Okay, it can modify verb, it can modify adjective. Kata modifying kata benda. And then an example is slowly. Grayson ran slowly. Jadinya itu Denny sebenarnya itu katanya itu dari slow ya, and ditambahkan li oleh dia. Do you still remember what li is? Is a suffix. If you still remember what we learned last week. Suffix. Right? See? Li, slowly, slightly, carefully, thoroughly. Carefully itu kan berhati-hati ya. Thoroughly itu sedetail itu, benar-benar dilihat sedetail-detailnya. And meticulously is also similar. Perfectly, dengan sempurna, and etc. If you find something that's heavily at the end of the suffix, it's going to most probably be adverb. This, so you will be able to recognize them, okay? Jadi kalau misalkan ketemu suffix li di belakangnya itu kemungkinan besar itu adverb, okay? And Pearl arranged the furniture slowly. Jadi itu maksudnya itu kan kalau misalnya this is verb, right? This is verb. And adverb is a modifier of verb or adjective, right? This hungry is adjective. Adjective. This is not a verb, but it's modifying something. That's why it's like an adverb. And then slightly is another li, right? This thing is modifying ran because it's, dia kan menerangkan kan dia itu larinya itu kayak gimana sih? Slowly. Kalau misalnya Grayson ran fast, itu juga, dia itu kan fast-nya itu adalah memodifying run, right? It's another adverb. Kan sesuatu. Kan sesuatu yang menerangkan dia itu gimana sih itunya run-nya. Or Grayson speaks quietly. Jadi itu kan dia itu bicaranya seperti apa sih? Oh, mau bicaranya nggak kedengeran. We cannot hear it. Then what else? Hungry, adjective. So I think mostly adjective is going to be kata sifat. Like anger. Vanessa was very angry. And then what else? Very grumpy. Dia itu jadinya kayak karena because Vanessa was very hungry, he is very angry and very grumpy. She is very hungry. Because Vanessa was very hungry, she becomes angry and grumpy. Karena Vanessa itu sangat lapar, dia menjadi sangat marah dan juga sangat grumpy is another type of anger, but it's more like how do you say it? Let me show you grumpy cat Mei. Oh, look, like this. Oh, so cute, right? It's just the face. Okay. Annotate clear drawings. Okay.
So generally the way to make an adverb is to just take an adjective, add ly to it. So you take the word slow, you add ly, you get the adverb slowly. You take the word nice, you add ly, you get the adverb nicely. Cheerful, add ly, you get the adverb cheerfully. So adverbs modify everything that is the noun, and that means that they modify verbs.
Okay. So as you can see, it's slow, nice, cheerful. It's all like kata sifat, right? It's an adjective. And you add ly, which is a suffix, and kata belakang ya. And you get an adverb. That's it. That's the basic thing about adverb, okay? Then we're going to learn about the relative adverb.
Hey, today we're going to talk about three relative adverbs in English. Where, when, and why is the beginning.
Yeah, this is about like time, right? When, time, where, place, and why, reason. Jadinya itu adverb itu ada kata keterangan. Besides adding adjective plus ly, jadinya selain menambahkan adjektif dengan kata belakang suffix, seperti yang tadi kita sudah tonton, like what we just watched, there's another type of adverb, like adverb of place, time, and reason. Let's just watch.
And we're going to use this word pegging the dragon in order to figure out how to use these adverbs. Maybe look at these words, thinking that they look an awful lot like Western words. And you're right, they are. These are Western words. But you can also, so you can use them to ask a question like, where are you from? Because we use the word where to figure out where stuff is in space. So, where figures out. So then you can respond and say, that is the cave where I grew up. And you can see that where here is not being used in a question way. It's actually connecting the clause I grew up to cave.
Okay, so actually it's not a very simple sentence structure anymore. It's like combining two clauses into one. Jadi like this relative adverb is trying to combine two sentences into one. Jadinya itu untuk kayak menggabungkan dua kalimat menjadi satu kalimat. So it's more like adverb clause, this relative adverb. Jadinya, and as you can see, and as the teacher has talked, the teacher in the video has explained to you, it could be used as a interrogative sentence, ya. Maksudnya itu kan question words, okay? Interrogative sentence. Untuk menanyakan sesuatu, kan? Where are you from? Usually you need to add this tanda tanya and at the back of it. But besides that, you can also use it as a connecting word. Jadinya itu untuk melink word antara satu klausa dengan klausa lain. Klausa lainnya jadinya That is a cave, like itu gua, ya kan? Gua bukannya aku ya. It's like a place where you can live, and usually it's a natural. It's something that's usually cave is something that is naturally built in the wild inside of a forest or a mountain or a hill. Jadi itu adalah sebuah gua yang terbentuk secara alami, entah itu di hutan, di gunung, ataupun di daerah bukit, di perbukitan gitu, kira-kira. Nah, where I grew up, where I grew up, itu kan menerangkan tentang cave-nya ini, right? Jadinya kan saya itu guanya, di mana saya tumbuh besar. You can say there is a cave, and then full stop. Kamu bisa bilang that is a cave, itu gua, itu sebuah gua gitu kan. But you cannot say where I grew up. Jadinya kalau misalnya dipisah, kalian nggak bisa ngomong cuma di mana saya tinggal, di mana saya tumbuh besar. Karena if you only say where I grew up, it's going to be, it needs tanda tanya. Where I grew up, jadi kan begitu. But if you making it into one sentence like this, it's possible that this where is modifying the cave. This is already a compound sentence. Jadi ini udah the compound sentence. Jadi itu dua kalimat yang dijadikan satu. Begitu. It's already compound sentence. It's another grammatical thing that you will learn later. So, but we're just going to focus on this, okay? That there is another type of adverb that you may know.
This is why we call this a relative adverb, because the word where modifies where, and it also connects this whole thing to cave. Because where the picture grew up, the cave, and it connects this whole chunk to the rest of the sentence, to the second stage back. We use the word when to ask questions about time. So if I ask, hey, and did you work around fire? Because all dragons do fire. She would say, I learned to breathe fire when I was 10 years old. So again, we're using this word when to connect these two ideas. When did you learn to breathe fire? When she was 10 years old.
Yep. It's just similar to the other sentence. Like, another interrogative sentence, right? And then I learned to breathe fire. This one cannot stand alone. Jadinya itu yang ini sekarang yang tidak bisa sendirian. Like, I learned to breathe fire. You cannot say it just like, I learned to breathe fire. Well, you can actually. But it's not really complete, especially when it's not a complete sentence to answer the interrogative sentence before it. Jadinya kan kalau misalnya saya belajar untuk bernafas api, itu kan tidak menjawab pertanyaan yang di atasnya ini kan. Kalau misalnya dia tidak ada keterangan when I was 10 years old-nya. Like, but you can actually say that, when did you learn to breathe fire? When I was 10 years old. You can say it like that. Jadi ya saat saya itu umurnya itu 10 tahun. So this when is modifying this. Modifying the when I was, modifying the I was 10 years old. Begitu kira-kira. But if it's like this whole sentence, if you want a whole sentence, then it's the I learned to breathe fire when I was 10 years old. Clear drawing first. Yeah, when I was 10 years old. Just like what the teacher have said. Probably you're going to be confused why where I grew up cannot stand alone while this one can stand alone. Okay, it's just the sentence structure. Jadinya cuma sentence structure-nya yang dia itu membuat dia tidak bisa untuk berdiri sendiri. Like, because it's like where. So this where here rarely used in a non-interrogative sentence. Jadinya tuh where itu jarang banget untuk dipakai di sentence yang bukan untuk kata tanya. While when itu lumayan sering. For example, I like to ride a bike when I was in very school. Okay. Wow. And then let me try. She come to the party when you went home. It's so easy to create sentence with when, but it's not easy to create sentence with where. That is not interrogative. That is not interrogative. You get what I'm saying? You can try by yourself and let me know if you are able to easily write sentence using where. Jadinya kalian bisa coba kalau misalnya kalian itu nulis sentence biasa, bukannya interrogatif ya, bukannya pertanyaan ya, menggunakan where. Apakah itu susah apa enggak menurut kalian?
figure out reasons for doing so. So if something strange were happening in the countryside, and I asked Peggy, "Oh, mighty dragon, do you know why it is raining fish?" Peggy could say, "I don't know why that's happening." So again, we've got these two clauses. That is happening, and I don't know why connects, relates them.
Okay, another, like the reason, like do you know why it is raining fish? Kamu tahu nggak kenapa hujan ikan? Okay, I don't think that's something that could actually happen in real life, but we don't know. Maybe we have like if you ever watch the meatball cartoon, then you will know that it's raining burger. So yeah, but I think it's only happen in cartoon or movie or other. I don't know if it's going to happen in real life. I don't know why that is happening. Again, if you say I don't know, only it's possible. Kalau misalnya kalian cuma ngomong, saya nggak tahu, I don't know. But it's not possible to say just why it's happening. Because again, why is similar to where. You rarely able to find or make sentence with why in like that you don't need in a real sentence, not interrogative one. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to share the last one. Oh. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. I'm just going to show you about another adverb. This is the adverb of frequency and degree. Let me. I think you actually see it before, right? This very and slightly from the previous video when we are introducing adverb, not the relative one. Jadi degree is how much, jadi seberapa banyak gitu. Like these are the adverbs that you will find if it's about positive, and it's if it's okay, like slightly, a bit, fairly, rather. Pretty. Then this is the negative one. Very is also can be negative. I mean, it can be positive and negative because it's quite like it can express two extreme feelings. Yeah, like I'm very happy right now. Saya sangat bahagia sekarang, but you can also say I'm very sad. I'm very upset right now. Jadi kan saya sangat sedih sekarang. Itu kan bisa menggambarkan dua hal yang sangat ekstrim, right? That's why. Sesuatu yang terlalu banyak itu kan bisa menjadi baik dan juga bisa menjadi buruk, right? That's the logic. And okay, clear drawing. Okay. Rather, another one, very formal, they say. Incredibly pretty and a bit informal. Almost, nearly, hardly. Yeah, this is just the example of degree of frequency. Okay, so frequency is how often, like always, frequently, regularly, quite often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, hardly, rarely, ever, never. Like always kan selalu ya, frequently ya sering lah. Regularly itu sama, sering, quite often kan lumayan gitu ya. Sometimes, terkadang, occasionally itu kayak it's similar to sometimes, and seldom, hardly, ever, rarely itu kan jarang ya, never nggak pernah gitu kan. How often? It's just to express something to and adding something to your sentence. Like ini kan untuk menggambarkan dan juga memberikan suatu gambaran kepada sentence kalian gitu kan, apa yang mau kalian katakan gitu, untuk to express yourself more with adverb. Like I occasionally see them. The see is the verb, right? The subject and an object. Occasionally is the adverb because it's modifying the verb. Okay. And then is often late. Like, is a state of being often late. Late is like, this is expressing the lateness, right? Let me see. Late is it adjective? Let me see. Wait a minute. Late. Yes, late is adjective. Adjective, okay. I just saw it on Google. And then was quite often, another adverb. See, quite often. Okay. It's how much, right? Oh my goodness, what happened? Okay, sorry about that. This is kind of annoying. Okay. Share. Okay. Yeah, you get the gist, right? Kalian kan sudah ya kira-kira ada gambaran lah ya. Seperti apa. Jadinya itu like for let's have a little recap. So we learn about verb, right? There's like the regular and irregular verb. Itu kan kata keterangan ya. Words that shows action. and then every sentence always have verb, and then it has regular and irregular verb. Regular verb like talk, talked, and irregular verb like show, showed, shown. Yeah, they don't have like a specific arrangement. You just need to memorize it. There's nothing you can do about it. And then modal verb. Yeah, modal verb, it can express many things, right? Possibility, advice, and then obligation. What else? Ability, etc. Depends on the sentence again. And then what else is there? Verb also has like helping verb, auxiliary verb, which use to have or to be, right? Remember? Yeah, it's like it really depends on the sentence, and it's also expressed like a state of being. A state of being or describing something, like what happened with the bear, right? The bear is eating and the bear smells like cinnamon. It's like describing something. And what else is there? Adverb. Is a word that explain verb and adjective. Mostly adjective. Firstly, adverb, and then there is like a adverb, the when, where, why, then frequency and degree. Adverb. Okay, the one that we just learn right now, right? You have so many examples of that. Okay. Stop sharing. Thank you very much for listening for today. I think it didn't I really hope that it didn't exceed 2 hours. Saya harap dia tidak melebihi 2 jam ya untuk yang kali ini. And I'm going to post this on our website, UBL Apps as usual, with the exercises. So make sure to do that and see you on Zoom on Wednesday. Okay?